Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fuck. Today, we're gonna keep learning Death Prophet, the character that is impossible to play properly. I'd actually like to share a little bit of information with you, Kevin, okay, as we come here.
All right.
Let's go to my profile. Let's go to stats. Let's find Death Prophet. Oh, where is she? Oh, she's right here. I'm 1 in 8 with Death Prophet. 1 in 8. 11%. Look at my rating. It's hardly a bar. You can't even see it. Oh, God. Such a crisis. I can't stand this character. But the way that we improve is by banging our head against the walls we wish not to bang our head against until we clear the wall.
What changed, dude? You were all about Death Prophet. You're like, I want to learn Death Prophet. You're excited to learn Death Prophet. Was it the 7 losses?
Yeah. And the feeling of helplessness. I played one game where I was happy with the laning stage. This is the game against Puck that I know we're going to look at in a sec.
Yep.
But all the rest of the time, I felt like a big old pile of garbage. I've made some changes that I'm happy with, that I like. However, I still don't think I understand at all how to play her in the mid game. But I'm pretty sure I can do okay in the early game now. Either way, let's just do it, Kevin. Tell me what we're going to learn. Tell me how to learn today. Let's go. Let's fucking go,
Let's just
man.
watch the laning stages. I think the laning stages is... Basically, we can watch the first 15 minutes of all the games, and that'll kind of cover all of the major issues you're making. So it's not just, like, you're saying you don't know how to play your mid game, but you do. The problem is that you are not good at the hero. That's the issue. That you don't understand exactly what to do in team fights. You don't understand necessarily how to execute what you need to do. It's not about, like, how do I place the playstyle you get. It's basically Lina with an ultimate, and your damage delivery system is different. You don't know how to deliver the damage properly. You don't know how to deliver the DP. You know how to burst people.
I don't know. That's right. I can burst, but I don't know how to deliver something on a continuous and steady basis, such as with a DP.
But sometimes you go in too aggressive, and you're out of position, and you get punished for it.
Yeah, I really do. I really do.
And then you feel bad about DP.
And of course, the important thing that I can clearly glean that you're trying to communicate to me is that I just need to get over that hump, and then I'll start to enjoy it. Right?
Yeah. You gotta get to those painful moments.
I knew that this would eventually be funny to me. I knew that eventually I'd begin to giggle uncontrollably. But I want you to know that in all of these games that I played Death Prophet,
yeah,
I think I played 4 or 5 games with Death Prophet, and then I also played some therapy games in between, where I played Phantom Lancer and Zeus, and those were nice games. But
okay,
the fucking Death Prophet games, I was in a blind rage in every single one of these games, man. I was, like, uncontrollably angry by, like, 6 minutes in every single one of these. Hold on, let me just enlarge myself. There we go. Alright.
So this is the one that went well. Give us the player perspective. And you can probably speed this up. Like, we can watch at least like 1.5
Watch
times.
at half speed. Yeah, so, okay, so let me... First, I want to note... in my playings with Death Prophet after our lesson. In the first lesson that we had with Death Prophet, a lot of it was just getting used to and learning about the hero, learning basic shit. You also gave me some builds and indications towards getting Eul's Scepter, getting a lot of mana regen and speed and things like that. We also got a Veil last week, and I tried doing Veil-y stuff, and I really just do not think I understand at all when and how to use a Veil with this particular hero.
Okay.
So I stopped. In this game, I didn't get the double null talisman. I just went straight for the Eul's Scepter. It's either this one or the next one.
It was this one, yeah.
Yeah, and that felt much more comfortable for me. And I don't know... I know a large part of this is because I don't know when and how to use the Veil and when and how to deliver the damage, as you put it. But with Eul's Scepter, I know that I'm trying to stay alive. With Octarine Core, I know that I'm just doing my shit anyways. It just happens faster. Yep. So those things feel much more intuitive to me. So perhaps down the line I'll be more with it when it comes to double null talismaning. So in this particular game, I opted to go for a bottle first. And few things to note. I watched a lot of Death Prophet games from Dota Buff.
Okay.
And also on youtube.com/Dota2Pro, which I like quite a bit. And
30 seconds to battle.
Why the fuck did I bring that up? Oh yeah, there was this thing that I saw a lot of people do, which is that if the person they were against had sufficient evasion, such as Queen of Pain or Puck, they opted for Crypt Swarm first instead of going for the Spirit Siphon first. So that's the main reason I did this in the first game. So
it's reasonable. Yeah, he could basically jaunt away with his orb if you Spirit Siphon him anyways.
But I don't think the puck out. I don't think that breaks Spirit Siphon.
No, it'll continue going, but he won't take damage while it's active. But it won't also interrupt it from going.
All right.
So it'll just shield him for a bit of time.
So I'm
if
going to
you're
go ahead and put this
chasing
to
and you use it, then
1.5x.
you can just leave it. Yeah, that's fine. 1.5 will be good. You had a super good creep block this game that helped a lot.
That's because I'm sick, Kevin. I'm so good at this hero that the one win that I have out of the nearly 10 games I've played was domination.
Well, you didn't win this game.
I know. I'm sad. I lost every single one of
I'm
these games.
surprised. You actually did super well this game. It looked like it was won and over and easy for you, but
we'll just blame Soylent, who's in this game. Soylent was the Phantom Lancer that went for Diffusal Blade before Boots. Shame on you, Soylent.
Yeah, that makes sense sometimes, but almost never.
That's fine.
Then
Soylent's the man.
you just can't farm as fast.
So in this game, I focused less on trying to harass him until several creeps were down. I also I learned a trick in mid lane that I know I will never be able to use this year. All right, this is a trick for 2018, which is when it looks like so when the creep's health is low enough, you can attack with one auto attack and it will last hit, and so you try to line it up so that when the health is a little bit above that is when you actually make your attack. So that way, when the creeps deal that extra bit of damage while the projectile's flying, your projectile hits at just the right time so that you get the last hit.
Yeah.
So I was watching a whole bunch of games from Dota Buff, and I saw players, when they saw their opponent getting ready to do that, they would right-click on the enemy hero to draw aggro from the creeps to prevent the creeps from dealing the appropriate amount of damage, which will then open them up the chance to deny. And that's pretty fucking sick.
Yep. That one's really cool. That's a cool trick. Because it's all about... but at lower levels, it doesn't really matter because people don't really time it good anyway. So it's like taking those advantages just don't matter. You could literally never right-click an enemy hero and just always last hit better than your opponent if you have more damage and a better timing. So
I just focused on denying and last hitting until at least 1 or 2 creeps were dead. This was my modus operandi. Oops.
It's like you pulled the creeps, which is fine, because now he's trying to hit high ground.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I did pull the creep is because I knew that I had Crypt Swarm to be able to last hit that ranged creep no matter what.
Yeah, that was good. You got 2 last hits with it. You wouldn't have been able to right-click it in either way. You also harassed your opponent with it, which is good. Like, this Lanian Sage you actually did super well.
Let me tell you something. I was in the most focused state I'd ever been, and this is where I went, oh fuck, I'm not Lena. So I threw down my Crypt Swarm and realized that it's just not nearly the damage.
Not yours.
Yeah, it's a little bit less. You walked too far forward here.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a big deal. You probably should have eaten that tango earlier, most likely.
Yeah.
Nuke there was good. This one's not going to have too much criticism because the puck honestly just kind of sucks, and you had the easiest lane ever. He basically just sat there. Didn't really attack that much.
I felt no pressure in the slightest. Oh my god. I've let some reality spill in. There we go. Oh, Jesus, I was so close.
First blood.
I'll have your skull
Crank War
for
the
my
boss.
satchel.
I think you hit that range creep too much. There was not really a need to do so.
Yeah, I was just trying to push the lane, but I think that I should always stick with, if I'm going to be right-clicking, not trying to right-click this range creep back here in early game, but rather just attacking whoever my range creep is attacking. If I want to push more quickly.
It's usually better. Your camera positioning was a little bit bad a second ago. You want a little bit more bottom left possible. You got your boots up already. This is all good. Could you move your body slightly to your right? Possibly. Because I just want to see your hero level. If possible. I'd rather you block the scan than...
You want me to go to the right? Okay, here we go.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, there we go. Okay, there it is.
Cool.
Radiant's middle tower.
Dude, I can't wait
In the
for
meantime,
people
I'll
to see
just
this other game.
block everything.
There it is. Oh, yeah. No, I think you're in a good spot. I cannot believe you did not deny that last hit. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he actually just sat there. He's like, I'm here to accept experience and nothing else.
Yeah.
Got 11 last hits to your 28.
You go ahead and select myself.
I don't even know why he nukes the wave. He's actually doing everything possible wrong, I'm pretty sure.
It feels great for me. It's positive. And I see the regen rune because I'm a total luck sack.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I think I even threw down a Crypt Swarm to make sure that my mana was low. Shut up!
Technically, that nuke was
Whiffed.
bad.
Yeah,
because
really supremely whiffed.
he could have easily denied the range creep as well. I get it, you were trying to harass him, but it definitely hurt you a little bit. Here I would have considered pressuring, because his creep wave was dead. And if you chase him and use Spirit Siphon, he basically has to use Orb to escape you, which is ultimately not a big deal. And if he makes a mistake, you kill him. So that was kind of why I think that would have been a good opportunity. You've got your ultimate now. You should be denying the range creep every time that he does that. Which is fine. You did it a decent time, and I'm okay with the way you reacted there. That's good.
This is actually the best opening I have ever had in mid.
Yeah, that's because he's real bad. He hasn't actually done anything.
Yeah, but I also amazingly got less hits. Amazingly.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true. It was amazing. Fuck that up, but it's okay. I think I got something like 72, like 10 minutes. I don't know what this was.
So, you already fucked up here. Do you want to go back? Like 10 seconds or something?
Yeah, I'd love to go back. I would love to continue to watch me win this lane. And then,
like...
if you want to skip the other games, totally, it's cool with me.
Okay, just press the 10 seconds back on the upper right. That'd be a lot easier.
Where's the 10
see where it
seconds
says
back?
copy to clipboard? You see that little circle that has a 10 in the upper right?
What?
Yeah.
Oh! What is this button?
10
Why is this so
seconds, dude.
far away from the time control? Who designed this UI?
That's because
That's
the
amazing.
time control was invented years before the 10 seconds adjustment thing was invented.
That's right. That's right.
And I think they've like updated how to make it work in game. I actually talked to the guy that worked on a lot of the Dota TV stuff at TI, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I read that email you sent us about about all those replay bugs that happen, and I fixed it because I knew it would save you a lot of time." And I was like, he was like, "Yeah, we spent like 2 weeks on it." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude! 2 Valve employees spent like 2 weeks of their life to fix that." What was that bug? Do you remember that item bug? If you go way back in time, sometimes there'd be like an item. He figured out what it was finally that was doing it. And it was some like super obscure random thing, and he finally fixed it. That bug is fixed. That's because I sent him an email. That made me feel like somebody got paid like thousands and thousands of dollars because I asked them to fix something. That was pretty cool. But I also felt bad. Real guilty. Definitely guilty. Okay, so the problem was that when this guy orbs in, that is his escape mechanism.
Right.
And the thing that you need to learn on Death Prophet is, what is your damage delivery system? Can you give me an answer for that right now? How do you deal damage to people? And how is it different than somebody like Lina, for example?
Okay, so I think you are guiding me to something that I did not know beforehand, but that I am intuiting by virtue of the structure of your question now. And that is that Lina deals damage very upfront and in bursts, right? Like, nuke, 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 whack, 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 nuke, nuke, right? That's the way you do eat. But with Death Prophet, my presumption, based upon your comment, is it is persistent standing near you over time. Is the way that I deal damage.
And do you remember when I compared Death Prophet to other heroes like her? I said, do you remember the heroes I said? I said Viper's kind of similar. And I said, maybe I said like Necro or something like that. It's not quite the same, but similar. If you stay alive, people near you take damage. So the problem with your hero compared to Lina is that you do not have a stun. And your disable is pretty much weak. It's a slow, it's not a great slow. You basically have to stand near your opponent for a longer amount of time than Lina does, and you usually put yourself a little out of position. So when it is time to fight and you know that you can run with them for a while, what you need to do is get your shit ready as fast as you can. So see how this guy reacts now to being out of position, and see how you react to it.
Okay.
So press play and go slow if possible. This is good. Good speed.
Yeah. I also have a little gray cat on me, which is very helpful for this.
Perfect time. So he's going to do something really stupid. He's like, oh, I'm going to get a last hit. He gets a last hit. He jumps in.
And I need to leash right then.
Oh, shit. I need to run away.
So basically, I should be looking for, because I am all about persistent damage, I should be waiting to when I see, well, not specifically waiting, but a good opportunity for me is when someone loses their escape mechanism, and I can just immediately go on them knowing that they have no ability to escape.
Yes.
So if I see someone say use a Yules, I should just instantly go after that person. That's kind of I want
to use Yules. Let's say an anti-mage blinks aggressively but doesn't realize that you're there. Like let's say you're staying on your high ground, he blinks to the creep wave. That means that you have at least 5 seconds to chase him down and possibly kill him. If you know you can kill him in those 5 seconds, you're good. If it's a Crystal Maiden that has 0 mana that walks in the creep wave, and let's say it's going to take 10 seconds for you to kill her, she's not going to be able to run away because she has no mana. You should be faster than her because you have phase boots, and you're going to slow her with Soul Siphon. So you should know, hey, I'm one of the highest damaging heroes in the game. Your power curve is a different shape.
Really? I'm
Yes.
one of the highest.
Yes.
Oh, because
Absolutely.
it's percent of max health. So
Well, and your ultimate is ridiculous. Exorcism is actually so ridiculous. I'm going to really quickly, I'm just going to boot up a bot game, or you can do it as well. I'm just going to go into a game, and we'll check the DPS of your hero. Like,
yeah, let's do it after this one. Let's go straight into it so we can show it on there.
So the mistake you made was that you were too slow.
Okay, so it was still correct to use my Crypt Swarm, or not my Crypt Swarm, my mega thing, Exorcism, and Spirit Siphon. Spirit Leash Siphon?
Spirit Siphon. And this is
Connected
a
spirits.
super common problem that you had consistently. And it happened enough times where I was like, okay, this is why Sean's sucking. That's it, period. It's because your reaction to these situations, it has to be quicker, and you have to do it right. Because again, you don't have control, you can't stun them. You basically have to think, I have 8 seconds to chase this guy, I can fucking kill him no matter what. Because he messed up. Like, the only way that Puck stays alive there is if he dream coils you as you start going on him, and you are forced to stun yourself, and he gets away. Or if, like, somebody gets out of position like that, they throw the stun at you, and that means they get out of Soul Siphon range, and now you can't catch up to them. But if your hero has a haste, basically, you can kill pretty much any hero in the game if they can't burst you down with help from their tower. Like, haste is so OP on Death Prophet. It's a reason that Viper's really slow, because Viper can slow people. He doesn't slow people extremely well until he ulties, but he can slow people well. But he pretty much beats everybody in a 1v1.
Yeah.
So if he has a haste, he's OP. It's like the holy trifecta is like evident in these game design factors. So what you should have done in that moment when he got out of position, as soon as you know he's out of position and that you have time to chase him and that you can kill him before his orb comes up again, you pop ulti immediately. And consistently you mess this up. You always use the wrong skill first. In some of the other games, especially this one, when you gank, you run forward and you're like, hey guys, I'm here, I'm ganking you. And the first thing you did every time was cast silence. Fucking silence. You're like, hey guys, I'm here. Don't cast a spell. Now I'm going to cast my ultimate after casting Spirit Siphon. It's like, you need to get your damage rolling because you have a limited amount of time for these opportunities to chase people. So usually what you can do, if you're ganking a side lane, you stand in the trees right next to the lane. You know at that point that you're going to get behind them, because if you can get behind them, that's probably a kill for Death Prophet, because you know they've got to run to your tower. So what you do is you pop your ulti before you even get there, because it takes like 5 seconds for your ulti to even, for your little ghost ladies to even come out. So it's going to happen here. You'll see how it works, okay?
Okay, so here's my haste room.
You popped it a little early in my opinion, but it was fine. Because, all right, so I'll tell you when to pause. Basically, like right here. Pause.
Yeah,
so if you look at your hero positioning, you are gonna be behind these guys. And look at their HP. They're both super low. Wraith King's not 6. Gyrocopter is not 6. This is a fucking double kill. Easy double kill. Now watch your hero pathing. The way that you go to gank this. Again, you have weak disables. You've got shitloads of damage. You've got very good survivability. Instantly, you already fucked up because you're approaching from behind them. So instead, your position could be where that range creep is right now. You could be behind these guys. They have to walk past you. But instead, you're instantly chasing instead of leading them. So instantly, Gyro runs away because he's behind you. But if you approach from the back, if you use your ultimate, can we go back like 15 seconds?
You know what? We can go back 20 seconds, because look at this button right here. Boom.
Okay.
Bam.
And then can we go into free camera, actually, while we watch this? So I'm gonna see like the opportunity. I just want you to have your camera centered over the trees, basically, where you're approaching.
Oof.
There's even a Rubik here, actually. So they might have spotted you. Kind of seems like it.
Yeah, let me actually go to Radiant Vision.
And you have to resume for it to...
Yeah.
Okay, so they saw you're coming because they have the ward. But the way that you approach was weak. You should know, like, these guys aren't going to be able to kill me. Because if shit hits the fan...
Here, yeah.
I'm going to use Spirit Siphon 2 to 3 times at the same time to heal. They're going to have some nukes and all. Like, this is scary if Gyrocopter has full mana, has Call Down, has Rocket Barrage, and you get stunned as you turn the corner before you get any Spirit Siphons. You could get burst in a time, but that's kind of what Yule's is for. So look how you're initiating. I'm here, guys. I'm here. I'm silencing. I'm using Spirit Siphon. Two seconds into the game, then you pop Exorcism. But it takes a little bit of time for the Ghost to come out, and therefore it takes even longer for them to do damage. They haven't even done damage yet. They're just now coming out and getting ready to attack. So if you ulti, get behind them, Spirit Siphon, then Silence, because you're basically doing the thing where you have a Shadow Blade, you're revealing that you're there, and then you're casting a spell. You need to attack first, then cast your stun to deal with their reaction times. But your silence is at least you're wasting a second, probably, because they don't even know you're there yet, most likely. So silencing them at that point was just not useful. That should have been at least a double kill. And then you get more gold. Maybe the tower is easier to kill.
So fucking wealthy, dude. Jesus.
Yeah, and you were really farming this game. Absolutely.
Was this silence okay?
Can you go back? I want to watch it again.
You know what, Kevin? I can go back. Look at this
Back
right
10
here.
seconds.
Bam.
Exactly. Okay. One more. Go back one more time. And then right when you see him and you're about to go on him, that's when I want you to pause. So here you realize he's there, okay? And then when your hero turns back, I want you to pause. Okay, so you're turning back. Okay, so the silence is okay but kind of bad, because if you silence him, he's going to run because he knows he can't stun. What I think is better is if you Spirit Siphon first, and if he's still, like, if he gets too far away, your Spirit Siphon breaks. That's a huge deal. So in some ways, the silence first is good, because if he stuns you and runs and gets out of Spirit Siphon range, that's bad. But generally what you want to do is Siphon first, then silence. Because then no matter what happens, you've got a heal going. And you're slowing him, which means that he's out of position longer. If you silence first, he's running full movement speed, then you cast Spirit Siphon at max range, and you have to slowly catch up. But if you Siphon first, instantly slowed, then you silence, and if you get both of those off, then he's really screwed, because then you can catch up fully and keep, because again, it's about chasing on this hero.
So I should be looking to Exorcism, like, pre-battle, and Spirit Siphon right at the start of the battle, and then do Judgment Calls about when to Crypt Swarm and silence.
Usually, but sometimes these things change. There will be circumstances where you silence first, or maybe you will Spirit Siphon first because shit's hitting the fan real bad, and Exorcism has a long animation. But almost always you want to ulti first, or you could Spirit Siphon then do it, because Spirit Siphon has an instant cast. Like, that guy's stunned. There's actually no reason for you to silence him yet. You easily could have used Spirit Siphon, then silenced. And the other thing is that you're actually attacking a moderate amount, and it's probably not needed. You're probably attacking too much. Because again, you attacking is you standing still, whereas you moving is you getting more duration on Spirit Siphon, getting better positioning. Like right now, that guy got out of your Spirit Siphon range, mostly because you were slowed. But maybe if you don't auto-attack once, it would have been more successful.
I shouldn't be auto-attacking, I should just be continuing to run at him.
Yes, because you want to stay as close as possible, because staying close to him guarantees that your Spirit Siphon doesn't break, among other things.
So really,
like right here, no reason to attack at all. You should be at his hero right now in positioning. Obviously,
no!
you Spirit Siphon to creep, of course,
fuck! Oh shit!
But if you give up positioning for him getting to his escape point, then that limits your ability to Spirit Siphon. You can't kite as much, you can't body block him, you probably won't be able to Crypt Swarm. Like, a lot of these times when you're trying to use Crypt Swarm, they're basically at max distance. But ideally, what your circumstance is, you're standing next to that guy the whole time while you chase him, and every time you get a Crypt Swarm, you nuke him. And then maybe if he's stunned, you right-click. But usually you don't even worry about it too much.
Is it correct to say that in late-game situations, I absolutely am prioritizing position and Spirit Siphoning and heavily deprioritizing my right-clicking?
Yep, you basically don't. Your right-click doesn't mean shit. Unless you do it like once in a while to try to get your ghost to target the right guy. But yes, you've got 2 Nil Talismans, but it really doesn't matter. Like, it's not that important. It's mostly, unless you're trying to like interrupt a Blink Dagger for 3 seconds or something like that. Right-clicking, or unless you're really trying to focus somebody down, yeah, right-click him. If you know that all that matters is you kill this guy in time for whatever reason. But usually it's about your hero positioning.
Okay. Kevin.
So do you see how much you messed up this like bot rotation and how much worse it made your hero? Does it make sense now?
Yeah, no, like truly with this bottom rotation, my sensation was coming right from, it was right around here when I'd already killed off this tier 1. I had dominated in mid, I felt, and I was just like, Kevin told me last week that Haste Rune is OP on this hero, and I feel like I should be able to kill a lot of stuff here. And I just didn't, and I couldn't name why. it was very hard for me to see. And, I mean, I think a lot of my use of silence is the fact that, I mean, if anyone here watched last week, I literally forgot that ability existed on the hero most of the time.
Yeah.
I was just not using silence virtually at all. And then I kind of got here and was like, I guess this is me, like, incidentally seeing that there's some low health creeps and going, I guess I'll go for it. I guess, maybe.
Radiant's
The
bottom
best
tower
time to
is
use
under
silence
attack.
usually when you do ganks is you roll around the corner with your ghost
Dire's
flying
middle
behind you
tower
because you've already
is under
ultied.
attack.
You
Radiant's
use Spirit
bottom
Siphon,
tower
and they're like,
is
oh
under
shit,
attack.
she's got her ulti up, and she's Spirit Siphon me. If I don't stun her and get out of range, I'm dead. They
Dire's
turn to
silence
stun you,
are
and then you silence them.
fortified.
And then they're like, I'm fucked, because they're stunned for 3 seconds, they can't stun you,
Radiant's
and then they're
bottom
standing
tower
next to you,
has fallen.
taking Spirit Siphon
Dire's
damage,
middle
and
tower
Crypt
is
Swarm,
under
and ulti
attack.
damage.
Yeah, and also your comment of, like, don't worry about the right clicks. I mean, I was trying so hard to right click so much throughout here because I thought that, like, maybe that's where I'm struggling to deal damage.
It's mostly, and that's why your ultimate is such a big thing for this hero. Because your right clicks don't really mean
Dire's
shit.
middle
Spirit
tower
Siphon's
is
good,
under
but it doesn't like
attack.
kill heroes by
And
itself.
this is physical damage, so this is not nearly as good against a lot.
Dire's middle tower
Carries.
has fallen.
No, it's still really good. I mean, yes,
Radiant's
this can
top
be reduced by
tower
armor and
is
stuff,
being
but it's more
denied.
like the damage output that it provides is huge. So
Yeah.
at this point, I think actually let's keep watching this one because I do remember you can probably go like 2-4 times or something like this at this point because I remember there's some moments that I wanted to talk about item wise. Basically, you spend too much time bottom. Puck gets your tower for free even though he sucks and did nothing in his lane, which
Yeah.
shouldn't have happened. That's an advantage that you guys didn't need to lose. I think if you rotated better and more effectively, you probably would have been able to get back in time. I'm guessing, or at least continue pressuring for more advantage bottom. So you're walking up mid.
And I just died.
Okay, so why did you die there?
So my
Give me, like,
possibly
the
incorrect
obvious-
answer was I just shouldn't have crossed the river.
Okay, but the reason you died was because there's 3 heroes, right? That's a simple explanation.
Right.
And do you think you could have fought there?
My answer is no, but maybe the answer is yes.
All right, you've got your ultimate. You don't have that much mana. That's the biggest constrictor, but you do have your ultimate. So again, you do shitloads of damage.
Yeah, I actually
Like-
had enough for double
Like,
spirit siphon and
if you
ultimate.
pause for a sec, think of other heroes at your point. Like Alina, that's level 10. How much burst damage does she have? She has Dragon Slave max, she has Light Strike max. Light Strike is like 200, Dragon Slave is like 300, so that's like 550. And then she has Laguna Blade. So she has about 1,000 magic damage, basically,
Yeah.
right? So let's say you're ganked by 3 heroes, but most of the supports are probably like 6 right now, so they do like, we'll say if they steal the right spell, they're going to have like 400 damage. Puck's going to have like 500 damage. Wraith King's going to do like 300. That's pretty close to how much HP you have. It's not that far off. Your ultimate does way fucking more than 1,000 damage, guaranteed, for the whole duration, easily. So if you could survive this moment, you probably weren't going to make it if you used all your abilities, but you were close. If you, for example, Yule's dodged the Wraith King stun while your ultimate had been active for 3 seconds, and you had a Spirit Siphon going, you could probably kill at least one of those guys, maybe 2, and force them to retreat. It was close. So my argument here is buy a Raindrop. Raindrop is kind of mandatory on heroes like Death Prophet. You need the mana anyways. You're always scrambling for runes and stuff. And on top of that, it also gives you damage block in teamfights. So if they gank you like that, and let's say you stay alive for 7 seconds, it's gonna proc twice. That's 180 HP.
See, this I actually did correctly, which was to siphon right away.
Yep,
Look
that
at
one was
that.
good.
Dire's bottom
Because he was out of
tower is
position,
under
you want to
attack.
slow him to keep him out of position. Should have been your thought process. He's super overextended. Keep him within sight range of the tower. So things like Raindrop, more mana, keeps you alive in some of those circumstances where you're a little out of position. And now you're going to get Yules, and when you die the next time, that's when I want to finish this clip. But the thing I want to talk about is Yule's Scepter as an item for you as a player. I personally think you should stop buying Yules as your first item.
Really?
So watch this circumstance. You're pushing forward, you find a creep wave. I think this is not that greedy, but they were definitely set up for this. You use this Yules on Sand King, and now when you use Yules on Sand King there, what does your Yules Scepter do once you've used the active?
It's just movement speed and mana regeneration.
Which is fucking worthless. You're not going to stay alive. It doesn't keep you alive in that case. The reason that item is purchased by good players is because, and this was the thing I thought about this morning, is because they don't get into circumstances where it's them versus 4 heroes ganking them. It's very rare. because they know where to go on the map. They don't get ganked. They don't get out of position. Yules is not going to fucking save your life in a circumstance like this. The only way it does maybe is if you Yules the same time that they try to burrow strike you, or you Yules dodge a stun while your ultimate is active and while your Spirit Siphon is going. That's like the only way, because then you're trading your 2,800 gold item for a Lincoln's kind of, is more or less what you're doing. But it doesn't increase your HP. It doesn't increase your survivability. It only does if you Yules yourself to avoid damage or to buy yourself time to heal. So in a circumstance like this, honestly, if your ultimate was going and you got 2 Spirit Siphons off at the start of the fight, you might be able to kill 3 of these heroes. Honestly, you might be able to. But you've only got 1,200 HP because out of all the gold you've spent so far, you spent it on this item that just makes you run faster, which is worthless if they have 4 stuns, because you're not going to run faster because you're stunned.
One thing I'll note is that in the very first game that I played with Death Prophet of this set of games, I went for a Veil first and just had no fucking mana at all. I feel like the mana regen is really important in terms of being able to do sustained important shit on the map.
I would agree. So what's a mana regen item that also helps you stay alive?
Solar Crest.
God, no. It gives you armor, it doesn't give you raw HP, it gives you evasion, that part's good, but it's also like 2,500 gold or something, and it's okay. It is a Death Prophet item by pro players. They'll go like Yule's Solar Crest. What's an easy one? You built it many, many times. Zeus, Lina, Bloodstone. I think you should build Bloodstone. I think it's a noobier build.
Yay, I'm a fucking newbie getting Bloodstone.
Against good players, it's not as good, because if you get into these like gank situations where all of a sudden they dive on you 3 heroes because they're smoke ganking and doing smart shit and your team's backing you up, yeah, Yule Scepter is probably going to save your life a lot of those times. But in some of these moments, like the one mid that you were at where you could have maybe survived, if you had like a soul booster there, I guarantee you would have had time to ulti, Spirit Siphon, and fight those guys. Possibly kill them. And if shit is really bad, you just suicide and you lose less gold. Or they don't get gold from you dying. And you get unlimited mana. You solve your mana problems, you give yourself raw HP.
Right.
If you have a good game, you have insane mana regen, and then farming is the easiest shit ever because you're playing Lina at that point. You just cast Crypt Swarm every 3.5 seconds. If you get the perk at 15, it lowers your cooldown to 3.5, and then you get an Octarine Core, and you're throwing out a Crypt Swarm every like 2.6 seconds or something insane. Like just every 2.6, throw the Crypt Swarm, baby. Just throw it again, throw it again, throw it again. You're farming faster, you have more raw HP, you have tons of mana regen. The negatives are, you're slower, because you don't have Yules. You probably won't have Phase Boots, because you go Arcane, and the other negatives are you don't have a disable, so if somebody TPs, they're gone if you can't kill them in time.
Yeah.
That's negatives. So I think you should go Bloodstone. I think it's easier. If you get out of position, you're going to be able to stay alive. Before you go, let's go to the demo and check the DPS of Exorcism.
Sorry, my cat was chewing upon everything. Okay, heroes. Death Prophet is here. Boom. Demo hero. Yeah, 1-star difficulty. Bullshit, Valve. You're fucking wrong, dudes. Alright.
Alright, so don't level up max, just level up to like 6. Because your damage will be based on what your ultimate level will, nothing else. So I want you to press ultimate and measure based on the distance between you and the target. Because I'll learn something here too. Just stand still. We'll see what the DPS level's off into. So it's like somewhere around 150. But look at the total damage. Are there any heroes that do this much damage with their ultimate that you know of?
Kevin, nope. Unfortunately,
pretty much,
nope.
Maybe like Ursa, but not really.
Holy shit, dude. This is like so stupid how much damage this is.
Yeah. You do more damage than any hero. You just gotta stay alive, and you gotta stay near them to do so. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright, refresh, and do it again at like melee range.
Let me remove my headphone cord from my cat's mouth. There we go.
Oh, you need audio?
Okay, you asked me to do something, and
Refresh.
I completely ignored it. Yes.
Refresh, stand in melee range against the donkey, and then do it again. Do you remember what the damage total was? It was like 5,000 something. No, don't attack Chris S.
Fuck.
It's okay. We have an extra 2 right clicks. Alright.
Why is it so much higher?
Because when a ghost attacks, it needs to reload its DP spirit ammo, and it has to walk back to you to reload. And once it reloads, it can go back out and attack again.
No.
So the distance between you and the target changes how much damage your ultimate does.
So if I was by a tower, I should really like rub nips with the tower.
Absolutely. Give it a bear hug. You just
Holy shit,
did
it's
10,000
10,000.
damage. That has no armor. the thing, and then you can extrapolate this by leveling up. You get more
Your
spirits.
middle tower is under attack.
We can effectively say if you go if you just highlight your exorcism icon for a second. So it goes from 8 spirits, it doubles at 12, and then it goes up an extra 50% at 18. And there's also a perk that makes it deal more damage at 25, but it's at our health. It's kind of a hard choice, but it's another 8 spirits.
Holy motherfuck. Stop chewing on it. Stop it. You're a very bad cat. Fuck.
It doesn't matter what items you have.
Fuck. Shit.
You do
Fuck. Sorry,
buttload of damage. You just do a shitload of damage just by being alive. That's it. And by standing near enemies. Why would you ever right-click? Why would you ever stop to right-click?
I don't know. Because it's wrong. Because it's fucking wrong, man.
There's
I'm learning.
No reason.
I'm so glad. I love not right-clicking. This is what I'm dealing with right now.
26 fucking thousand damage. It's ridiculous.
No, fucking fuck. Dude, I bought so many extra Apple headphones because of this little darling cat. This little darling gray jerk. You're an asshole.
Maybe you should start buying like $5 headphones. I don't know.
No, I like the way these feel in my ear space.
Okay. And she probably, if you bought a crappier one, maybe she'd be less inclined to chew on it. I'm not sure. So another cool way you can make exorcism do more damage, minus armor. This is another reason Yule's is super OP as well. Because if somebody's like, oh shit, I can finally kill her, and they're scared of all that damage output, what they're going to do is they're going to be like, oh shit, she's stunned, let's kill her. You've got your ultimate going, you Spirit Siphon a guy, and then you press Yule's, and they take 300 DPS in melee range. And they instantly die, because they're like, oh, I didn't realize I was just going to get shredded by staying in melee range against the Death Prophet. That's why Yule's is good. But I think you need to solve the greater problem, which is you dying and you having mana. If you just go Bloodstone, it's more expensive, but you should be able to just AFK push out your lane, which is easy, and in jungle, and you're never going to run out of mana. And pretty much then, your limitations are, do I have my ultimate? That's about it. And maybe later you'll have to think like, do they have minus armor? Maybe I need a plate mail. Maybe I need a BKB this game, things like that. If they initiate on you first and you don't get your ulti off, then all that damage isn't happening.
So should I load up one of the other Death Prophet games?
Yes. Let's watch you lose and see what you did wrong. There's some other things in the laning stage that are pretty crucial that you're messing up. This is we'll watch this one first.
Woo.
This is a game that you easily could have shit on the safe lane, but you messed it up. It was your first game of that day, so we'll give you a little bit of a break here. But
no, that was not the factor at all. It was the problems with the gameplay for sure. Don't you worry. You're trying to set me up for an excuse. I swat your excuse away. Get it out of my face. I've sucked a lot of ass in this game. I embrace that.
So it's against a sniper who is. Do you know that much about sniper? Have you played him before?
I haven't played him, but I know how he works. It's a real dick.
Prepare for battle.
How would you describe him in the laning stage, like early game? Any features of the hero, trading wise? Think about trading.
I mean, trading wise, it's the fact that he has unbelievable range, so he can just.
That's not true. It's early game. I'm talking like pre like level 1, level 2, level 3.
Oh, okay.
What are the features of his hero? You can click on him if you want to look.
Unbelievably fucking slow is the big one that I would note.
Okay. He's a little slow. I wouldn't say unbelievably. Look at his damage, for example.
Why does it have Zeus there in Sniper?
Because the game's paused. If you resume the game, it'll change. It'll update.
Oh my god! I had no idea his damage was so low, even with a Wraith Band.
It's awful. Yeah, he has terrible level 1 damage. His HP is pretty bad, but he does have good strength gain, relatively good. And his movement speed sucks. His attack range is 550, which is about what Death Prophet's is.
Yeah, I think Death Prophet is 600. I want to say.
Yeah, so you actually have more range than him level 1.
Yeah.
But you're definitely faster by 20 movement speed. And if he wants to damage you, he has to use Shrapnel or Headshot. Headshot does 15 damage level 1, which is pretty much nothing. If you do the percentage, 40% of that is like what? Like 7 or 6, something like that. It's like 6 damage on average. And then if you get Shrapnel, it's 15 magic damage per second, which I'm pretty sure Spirit Siphon does at least 15. So level 1, this guy sucks. Level 2, this guy kind of sucks too. Like once he gets like level 3, level 5, level 7, that's when Sniper is scary. But early game, this guy's not a strong hero. So now that we know that, we'll understand how painful it is why you lost the lane.
No, I had no idea that she was that, or he was that low damage.
Like you hit for 65 on average, and that guy hits for like 46, 45.
Fuck, man. I should just literally be smacking him in his face and like Spirit Siphoning and smacking him and backing up and smacking.
Yeah, you do 20 damage more level 1 than he does, which is insane. You do like 50% more damage than he does.
shit.
And you got the ultimate trade skill, Spirit Siphon. So because he's slower than you, he has less HP, he does less damage. You're exactly right. Just trade with him. You got an early bounty rune. This is great for your team. The negatives are you got no block.
For me.
Yeah.
And because of this, it puts you in an actually really bad situation. Imagine that block that you had in the other game against this guy that has low damage, low HP, low movement speed. If this creep wave is on your side of the map, Sniper is fucked. He's actually fucked. Because you can just cross the river without aggroing the creeps and trade with that guy. And if you really want to, you can use Spirit Siphon. And then he actually just loses the lane because he can't even approach the creep wave. And instead, he has the benefit of high ground. He has the benefit of a tower right behind him. He also did a really good job right-clicking you, but another mistake you made is that you were very often aggroing their creeps. So most of the time you did harass them, you're actually hurting yourself oftentimes about as much.
Yeah, this was right before the puck game, and you'll recall that for that puck game I was saying, this is where I was like, I'm not going to harass until I've killed at least 1 or 2 of these creeps. And it was because of this game where I was just like, fuck, I'm taking so much damage.
You could also just be careful about when you aggro is the other thing. I mean,
yeah.
Yes, you aggroed creeps, but there were times when you right-clicked him where you probably, like, right there, you took like 3 creep hits. It's like, it's 30 HP. It's going to add up.
That's significant, yeah.
I maybe would have nuked there, but you probably would have had to right-click the other creep once to do so.
Yeah,
right
see,
there,
like,
you could have maybe Spirit Siphoned.
Those right clicks, I think, are okay. I got to be more aggressive with my Spirit Siphoning, for sure.
Yeah,
Because
you've
here,
been very
I can
passive,
let the wave push.
but you're auto-attacking as well.
Yeah.
Probably to
no,
prep
I
Grip Swarm,
should have
but
let it push. I didn't at that point.
yeah,
But
like you nuke that wave, now he denies your range creep. Now the push is actually limited, and this is where you super messed up. You get a DD, he should never get a last hit during this time period. That one I'll excuse, that one I'll excuse. But every other last hit, absolutely not. You should be attacking as soon as you're at half, because you hit for 50 or 150 damage right now. But somehow he's still getting last hits, despite doing like 50 damage. Right there, Grip Swarm chase that guy. Or I mean, Spirit Siphon chase that guy. You've got double damage. Like, you're not thinking enough about trading. The creeps are even. Yeah, you're going to tank creeps if you do it, but you're sapping his HP. Every auto attack at that point deals shitloads of damage. There's no way he wins that trade. But this whole time, he's basically sitting at like 80% health. And you're just letting him get these free levels and free attempts at last hits. Q press W, so we can see how many last hits he has. He's not doing great, but you could have shit on this guy, 100%. Right here, chase him a little bit, see what he does. Maybe he throws a shrapnel and you walk away without right-clicking him. And he wastes his shrapnel.
I was way too scared. I just had no idea it had such low damage. I gotta start right-clicking on people more. Like right here, I was like, ah! I was freaking out.
You gotta left-click people more, see what their stats are. But also maybe right-clicking. Right-clicking if it's the right moment. Against the puck, it's fine you didn't right-click him, because beating that guy was like winning like a trade war, and pressuring that guy was going to be hard because he's kind of elusive. But right there, what's the point of that nuke?
It's the worst Crip Swarm ever. Yeah, no, just blind rage, man.
This was the worst one ever.
I know. Lena can clear with those numbers. This I was just like, ah! It's like fucking. This is like my Lena programming, man.
So, all right, pause right now. All right, what should your goal be right now?
Kill someone. I have a haste rune.
Yes.
Get behind someone and kill them.
What do you need first? You need your level 6. You need your OP damage skill.
Okay. I was like, why? I don't know. I have the haste rune. I have the thing I need.
So your thought should be right now, I've got a haste rune. You could honestly probably kill him right there. It'd just be a little bit iffy. I would just play safe until I got my ultimate, and then I would kill that guy.
Fucking Crip Swarms, man.
You took a little bit too much damage there, which is dangerous because now it prevents you from bottling until it's time to use your haste. So you should have played safe, waited until you hit level 6, and then once you hit level 6, it's time to party. Because there's no way that sniper can out-damage you. Like, you could probably dive him under tower with the tower wailing on you as long as you're standing next to the guy, and you will kill him with exorcism.
This is so painful to watch, man. This hurts.
Okay, you got 6.
This hurts me.
I would sit back if you pause for a second. Right now, what I would do is rather than coming up the creep wave so that he can see you, I would sit back because it's nighttime, like where your catapult is, a little bit to the right of that. I would wait until he attacks the creep so I know exactly where he is. And as soon as I know where he is, I'm going to pop ulti, haste rune, my first bottle charge, and I'm going to sprint right at that guy and kill him. Because now he knows where you are. He may try to harass you by dropping a shrapnel early, which is a little bit dangerous because then you can't bottle. And he's also going to see you coming now. He's also instantly going to see you if you press your ultimate. Whereas if you're standing down there in the river, that like 3 seconds that your ultimate's running, he's not going to see it until you come sprinting out of the darkness with your girls at your back. Bottling up to like probably 750 HP. And then you super choked here because you don't want to waste your haste rune. But as soon as this happened, as soon as like you got down to about 300 HP, you have to haste and heal. Because his ultimate will do like, I don't know, it's like 280 damage or something. 250 damage. Alright, you respawn. Unfortunately, you didn't have a TP scroll. If I were you, I'd do the same thing. Instantly respawn, pop haste, kill that guy. I think that's what you did here. You're like, I'm just going to kill him. Haste rune is popped. Look at your order of casting.
Yeah, totally.
Awful. And once you get in melee range, he's pretty much easily dead.
I shouldn't have run this way. I should run south.
Yeah, that would have been the better move. I kind of related to you moving that way. You should have been bottling this whole time as well, because towers don't interrupt your bottle.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So you could have bottled better there. The direction moving, whatever, yeah, definitely some negatives, but the order that you casted your spells to even approach the guy was awful. So again, it has to be ulti into Spirit Siphon. Like, you basically stop moving with your haste rune to cast your 150 magic damage. Who gives a shit about that? You need to get close to him with your ultimate. That's all that matters. Okay?
Height.
Do you see how close, like, you were very close to stomping this lane, but you just didn't quite do the right things. And you went about even, and now you're 1 and 2, which is not terrible. Like, you guys can easily still win the game. You're actually 2k ahead right now. You easily could have won this game.
I mean, this is actually insane to me that this is even right now. I thought I got absolutely stomped on this game. I thought that he had a billion last hits and I had, like, very few.
No. I mean, he's probably like a 3k player or something like that.
Shit.
He didn't really know what he was doing either.
Also, I'm just gonna make the rule. I'm not gonna do any solo queue when I'm learning a hero. I'm only gonna do heroes I feel like I get how to play.
That's a good idea.
So much MMR in my solo queue, just fucking learning heroes.
Alright, so let's take a look at this gank here. You did that one right. Instant Spirit Siphon, nuke afterwards. Maybe your walking path was a little bit dangerous because you took like 500 damage here. I wasn't even blaming you, but
maybe it's a little bit of an error this walking path because you did take 500 damage.
my argument is you dived, you guys got a kill. It's okay to take some tower damage in that circumstance.
Right.
It actually wasn't that bad.
Fair enough.
In my opinion.
It was a very funny sentence. It was a strong sentence.
Yeah. And your camera here was awful though. You should have been looking at your allies. All right, what do you do right now?
Okay, pop ultimate right now.
Nope, not time.
Now.
No. If you go back 10 seconds, watch it again. When you get Arcane Rune, the amazing thing is, nice, I can get a lower cooldown ultimate, which again is how I murder people. You got the Arcane Rune. You actually did the right thing. You walked to try to get behind the Zeus. Because you didn't get behind the Zeus, there's no point to pop ultimate. But if he stood there and you got like close to him, then you definitely pop ultimate in that circumstance. So that was not bad. You're always just like fishing.
For opportunities.
Yeah, fishing for these opportunities. Is this good? No, this is awful. That's terrible. Don't do that.
This was literally me going, oh my gosh, my arcade room. Oh no.
They actually interrupted his assassinate. You should have died there, but the Earthshaker saved you.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But you had to get yourself in a position. Like, if your hero has a Shadow Blade, for example, like, you just need to be very close to them when you use your abilities. That's pretty much it. And then your hero is doing your job.
Yeah.
Doing his job. And if it's a hero like Zeus who actually can't stop people from running at him, like, right now you could have ran at that guy. He's level 5. He doesn't have his ultimate. He probably doesn't have that much nuke power because he's only got like 3 in bolt at max. You could have probably just bullied that guy a little bit with Spirit Siphon and see what happens. Lowers HP to half. Maybe he has to go back to Fountain. Maybe he has to Shrine.
Technically, I could have run at that guy as well and Spirit Siphoned him. Outside of the fact that there's 2 people there.
I probably went to done the Sniper because I know the Zeus was also there, but I would have maybe thought about pressuring the Zeus because I didn't know if Sniper was back. So this is the game you unveil, I guess?
Yeah, Veil first, and I just had no mana for this entire game. And like the rest of this game, this is my peak. I think that like I only went downhill from here out.
Okay, and the reason I would say that is because your armor is not great. It's good. It's kind of good that you unveil this game because Sniper does do a lot of right-click physical damage. But my argument is, you just keep going back mid. And when you go back mid and Sniper has like a level 11 because he keeps killing heroes, then he does have way more range than you. So every time you approach, he's going to shrapnel and right click you like 4 times. So you're never going to trade well. What you need to do is pop a smoke with your team by the tier 2, wrap around like the way you almost wrapped on the Zeus, and then just pop your ultimate when you're parallel with him. And then he fucking dies. If you've got your ultimate, work a gank into it.
No idea it did that much damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower.
Like, imagine
the reason that she's good at pushing towers is because of just sheer amount of damage.
Yeah, sheer physical damage. Like, imagine when you came mid like that and used your ultimate, you weren't just using it to you weren't just using it to pop to try to damage the tower. Imagine instead if you turn that into a gank.
Yeah.
It'll fucking change your whole game if you do that every time. Because if you just pop it, they're going to see you popping it, they're going to throw some nukes on you so you feel like you have to leave, and then you're gone. But if you kill somebody first, they're fucking scared, you're going to wail on the tower, tower's dead. It's all over.
It actually takes me most of the rest of this game to get this Yules, dude.
Okay.
I died so many times.
Well, you had a great game. It was 2-2. I don't know how you died 15 times. Internet lag or something.
No, not at all. Just not quite understanding what position I should be in at all.
But again, every time you're walking mid, you're like, hey, let's go for like the shittiest gank ever, where they know I'm here already. This was okay the way you used it, but obviously your positioning was no good. Tanking a full creep wave, 3 heroes, your team wasn't ready to dive with you. You didn't have your ultimate. That's probably why you died 15 times. But you're close to playing the hero right. You're just missing some really basic elements. You need to get on top of them, behind them, in their retreat paths, use your ultimate Spirit Siphon, and then kill everybody. Because you can still kill everybody here. You're gonna have magic resistance problems. I'm glad you got the magic resistance perk. But you guys are doing this like lazy push shit, 3k shit. I hate when teams do this. This is not how you play Dota. You don't just walk to a lane and are like, we'll just run at the tower until it maybe dies. Your ultimate usage here was really good. That was good. Your Spirit Siphons were solid. The Zeus kill was good. This one was really good.
Wow.
Very good.
Double damage.
Right, the negatives was they do a little bit too much damage. You have 3 bottle charges. That's a huge mistake. Again, you're all about staying alive. If there's ever times where you're not taking damage, you should be thinking, I should get a bottle in because I might need that 150 HP. Because I think if you played that a little better, you could have definitely stayed alive, killed everybody, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And Zeus basically just super works well against, Sniper and Zeus work really well against these kinds of shit pushes that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Because they have so much damage and they have a lot of range. But if you just gank them, they're going to be like, wow, I actually have to get a Force Staff first. Because if I get ganked at all, I'm just instantly dead because I have no way to run away from them. And that's why they can just do stupid builds and do shitloads of damage and do this well. Because you guys aren't ganking. You're just walking into a lane and hitting the creeps until you get to the tower, and then they gank you with like 4 heroes because they're reacting with what they see. You just smoke and approach and kill somebody with like a good like knife. You gotta like knife somebody. Don't just like push a
gotta
like,
knife
plate
somebody.
them.
Sometimes you just gotta knife somebody. And you know what, Kevin? Today, I'm gonna knife him.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Do you want to watch the other one where you got really wrecked? It's probably a good idea to do so. I didn't even watch this far. I thought at this point it was irrelevant, basically. But we can watch the other one very briefly. Just the lenient stages, talk about why you got wrecked so bad.
Oh, dude, this was like I was like yelling into the microphone. I was like, ah! I was like, so fucking angry.
Yeah.
Oh god, this was so funny, man. I haven't played against a tanker in a while, and I just got alarmed and panicked. Like, you're gonna give your insight into how to play properly and ways to change and all that shit. I'm gonna give insight into the thoughts that were happening because I remember this game. I like went to bed fucking mad, man. I was just like in my bed like, that was the last game I played of the night. I was exhausted.
It's a hard matchup. I definitely think it's a hard matchup. Do you know why it's a hard matchup?
Well, I know why it's a hard matchup, generally speaking, when I am playing against any tinker, which is that the blind makes it very difficult to get last hits, and makes it very difficult to trade.
Why do you think? Would you say that Tinker? What are advantages that Tinker has over Death Prophet?
Advantages Tinker has: the heat-seeking missile nuke is really nice range. I think that Tinker actually just has good damage at level 1. Yeah, 61.
He's got good damage, which is fine. It's about the same as yours. The reason he's good is because he just has a lot of damage, a lot of magic damage. Because if he's leveling laser and missile, he just does a shitload of burst damage. So it's easy for you to make a mistake. Because again, your hero is about Knife's Edge, staying alive, killing him first. But your damage is a slower power curve, whereas his is a very long cooldown, moderately high damage nukes.
30 seconds.
So if you make a mistake or trade in a bad way, and then later he gets all this. Basically, what happened is he got a bottle before you, and he just spammed laser missile, and you lost the lane because you couldn't actually stay anymore.
Yeah, that felt about right. Like the first time I died, I remember it being very close.
You can speed up, by the way. You're going too slow.
Oh god.
As much as I love watching your allies deal with the Nature's Prophet, your block was almost good. And let's watch the laning stage at 1 times. He's auto-attacking for some reason. You punished him.
But
That's
see,
good.
like, I actually think that I should not have been... I fucked that so badly.
Okay, stop. Pause there for a second. You already messed up, basically. The way you deal with laser is you use your nuke to get a last hit instead. So if he lasers you, he's basically doing 90 pure damage and preventing you from auto-attacking for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But because you have Crypt Swarm, you should use it as a, he's lasering me in anticipation to prevent me from last hitting, and then I use a nuke. That should be your trade.
Here's why I'm embarrassed. I specifically got this first against Tinker for that reason.
Okay.
And then I just whiffed that last hit right there.
Well, and you panicked and thought like, oh, I gotta nuke this. But
Yeah,
instantly
yeah,
use 100 mana. You don't get a last
Absolutely.
hit.
Spot on.
All these things are going to add up to you not having a bottle and this guy owning you. Right there, you should have been more focused on denying, most likely. You're also standing way too close to this guy. That right click was good though. That was very good. That like, even though it seems very small, that like 10 seconds was solid. This looked like a map misclick or something. I'm not sure what that was. Right here is where you should have eaten a tango. Delaying this really cost you. Right here, you're attacking a range creep. I don't know why. Right
The reason
clicking
I'm
him there
attacking
is
is
fine.
because he's pushing me really hard. But I think that I need to just cut that habit out and just attack melee creeps if I want to be right clicking.
All right, that last like 4 seconds lost you the lane. Go back and watch again.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, you just ate your first tango, even though you've been missing HP for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Go back like 15 seconds, 20, because you already missed it. So when this creep wave pushed up, creep wave's pushing, you have the high ground advantage. You look at your hero positioning, it sucks. It was like a little too far forward in my opinion, and now because you aggroed these creeps, now you're in a really bad spot. And you basically stayed to get that last hit, and you wanted to get the last one. You probably should have just backed there.
Yeah.
Like, he just auto-attacked you like 4 times without
Yeah.
response. And
then
because you used your tango late, now you've got 60 more seconds until your next one. I don't even know why you're approaching here. And you're basically fighting him with 4 creeps. You had 2 melees and 2 range hitting. I know he was low, but if you're going to trade with him like that, you need to approach where you're not taking 4 creeps. Because if there were no creeps and it was just you and him, you honestly might kill him there. Here's kind of similar thing as the chase. If you had a Spirit Siphon, you would have siphoned, chased long enough to be in range, and then kill him. Because you were very close. But that, it doesn't go as long as Dragon
Dire's
Slave.
middle tower is
So-
under attack.
Fuck. I was
You
literally just like, it was like, ah! Just like going insane. Oh my god, he only has 3 last hits. I don't know how I keep perceiving these people as having like fucking 8 billion last hits when.
Yeah. And that's the incredible thing about this as well, is that
Dire's
he sucks.
top
He
tower
actually sucks.
is under attack.
You now see that he sucks. Yes, he's
Fuck,
zoning
man.
you from lane, and he's going to out-farm you and beat you because he's farming you for kills. And yes, you're dicked in the lane. You're absolutely dicked in this lane. But because he got his bottle, because you gave him first blood, basically, you basically made up for all of his shitty last hits. You gave him like 8 last hits for free
Very
by dying.
generous, man.
Yeah, but if you hadn't fed first blood there, lane probably would have been okay. But now he's got an arcane rune, he's got free bottle charges, he's got boots advantage. You are screwed at this point. And
And I
now you
felt
have to
screwed.
walk back to lane. You were screwed. You're absolutely screwed. I think the only thing you can do at this point is hope the creep wave pushes, use a lot of nukes to get last hits, because he's just gonna laser missile you every time you approach.
And he does.
And you can't really trade anymore. You also went to Crypt Swarm. Maybe that was a mistake. I'm not quite sure. But if he just holds the creep wave right there on the cliff, like you're screwed. You actually can't last it anymore. Laser missile. This is probably fine what you're doing, just kind of nuking. That was fine. Yeah, and just back up. Every time he approaches you, you just back up. You should instantly eat a tango. Like you're missing 100 HP. You should have done that like 8 seconds
Yeah.
ago.
I mean, Blitz talked about that a lot in the question mid. Just like, if you're at 90% health, just eat a tango.
Should have gone that last hit probably, and you shouldn't have stayed this long because you should have been realizing that his cooldowns were probably back. And now that you died the second time, the lane's actually feels kind of unwinnable. Feels like you should have bought boots maybe instead of bottle. I feel like might have been better. Because at least with boots, because if you buy bottle, he's already got gold advantage over you. And yes, you could match his regen a little bit, but at least with boots, you could be out of position maybe a bit less.
Oh my god, dude.
Maybe
I
my
can't
thought.
believe how few. He has 12 last hits at 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's
He
awful.
should have 30 at 5 minutes. Holy shit.
Especially because he killed you so many times. And now you're just into panic like bounty runes, basically. So this lane is over. It basically just comes down
Oh
to
my god.
you screwing up heavily when you fed him first blood, and you completely gave that to him. You're like, here, take 400 gold. That's basically what happened. All right, I am actually going to. Did you invite me? I didn't get it.
I've been having this weird issue. You invite me now.
Sure. This is what we're gonna do. I'm
Yeah.
gonna coach you.
Yes.
You're gonna play unranked.
Yes.
We're gonna have a good Death Prophet game. Is what's gonna happen. Okay.
You're gonna help me get successful with DP, Kevin. Yeah! You'll be my coach.
A-class 3K MMR DPer. I want
Kevin.
people to want you to DP with them. Instead of right now where they're like, I don't really want to include that guy. I'd rather pick somebody else.
Okay.
To fill out my roster of Dota participants.
Fuck. Why isn't it showing all my shit? Edit my profile. Yeah.
Is mine messed up? I'm still working, dude.
Nice.
Oh, by the way, and if we play ranked today, I lost 4 out of 5 party ranked game last night with Eosin, so it will be easier on the bright side.
Well, cool. See, I just want to take a moment to note, like, like I have so many like losses in where is it? Like here I'm trying to learn Terrorblade and solo queue. Doubled down with a Jug game and won once. Ooh, look at me trying to learn Jug and solo queue. Fuck, man.
It's a lot, actually.
And then I'm like, oh, let me just try to play Phantom Lancer. He's pretty nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, I love Phantom Lancer, dude. Phantom Lancer is so sick. I win so many games with Phantom Lancer. He's my favorite, man. Look at this. Ooh, 39 and 11.
78%. Yeah, your radiant's really high for your MMR.
I don't even know what this rating shit means, man. But look at
it's comparing you to the average performance of players at your skill level. It's very similar to like Dota buff ranking. So you could be like a 3K player, but if you just absolutely emotionally connect with Phantom Lancer, then you're gonna play better at your MMR with that hero, and then it might rank you like top on Dota buff, for example.
Top on Dota buff. Dude, we're just kind of fucking chilling here, man. It's gonna be good.